Hello, I'm back. Let's go over what happened from the last time I updated to today. But first, a diet update. I weighed myself this morning and I was surprised to see I was 174. Pretty great. I believe it was because I did not eat for the last 4 hours of the day, which potentially allowed my metabolism to go into overdrive. 3 pounds of fat gone in one night is quite impressive, I would say. Very cool. Although it could just be water weight. I don't know for sure. Now, for the food, that's an interesting remark. The last video I did, I finished a keto almond and coffee ice cream bar, and then we jumped to the morning. So I guess we can go there. In the morning, I had a chorizo and egg burrito with a zero carb tortilla, walnuts, and 2 blocks of 78% Lindt chocolate. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it greatly. Then we jump over to lunch, which was a smorgasbord of health. Firstly, chicken, good source of protein. Then we had a nice spring mix salad. It had plenty of onions, it had lemon juice, it had a special vinaigrette. It was just really good. A homemade dressing. All really high quality ingredients like avocado oil, among many other things. I really enjoyed that. And then for dessert after that delicious salad, I had a keto ice cream bar, mint flavored. And finally, just recently, when I returned home, I snacked on some chicharrones, and I also had a A&W zero sugar with the salad, as well as a burger using buns with 1 gram of carbs. It was pretty good. Although I will say that the keto buns were a little on the chewy side. But the burger's meat was good enough to distract me from the weird chewiness. Well, that's pretty much what I ate. I also had one of those fizzy waters. I think it's called a Perrier, something like that. Really enjoyed that. Now, as for the events of yesterday and today, let's go over that shortly. So after finishing recording my video, I edited that bad boy, and then I posted it on my YouTube channel. It took about an hour to edit, and by edit I mean go through the AI cut and then mull over the footage to make sure it had everything I wanted in it. And after I was done editing the video, I posted it on my YouTube channel with the name and the description included. The reason I chose the title, which I believe was Eclectic Eats, mostly just came down to the fact that it sounded snappy and catchy, and it was a rather eclectic collection of meals. That was my thought process anyways. Well, after that was published, I started going down just an insane YouTube rabbit hole after insane YouTube rabbit hole, ranging from a guy making memes using artificial intelligence, specifically the Sora image generator, to a guy who did an edit of the 90s Superman cartoon and replaced Superman's voice with Peter Griffin from the show Family Guy. And the context of how the voice clips were used within the animated Superman footage was extremely impressive. Like, it generally looks like they recorded those lines for that cartoon and not for Family Guy. And another thing that made it really fun and interesting and impressive was the fact that whoever edited and put the video together went through the strenuous effort of lip syncing Clark Kent slash Superman's mouth to the voice of Peter Griffin, which was insane and really cool. It was a lot of fun to watch that. I really did enjoy that. Whoever made that video, you get a thumbs up from me. What else? I think I was reacting to a guy who believes there's like a connection between aliens and artificial intelligence. Paper Sight was the YouTube channel, and he was talking about how he believed that aliens that we see them like rays are these not even real organic beings, but synthetic artificial intelligent beings that were crafted by real extraterrestrials to send all the way through millions of light years to Earth to inspect what's going on the planet, which I think's somewhat of a fairly interesting theory. I mean, who's to say we can't create like an organic robot ourselves, or like a synthetic like humanoid of some kind using artificial intelligence and lab-grown DNA. I mean, it sounds like the stuff of horror, nightmares, and science fiction, but I mean, I feel like we're closing in on that gap very soon. It's something interesting to think about for sure. After watching that, I finally decided to work on my YouTube video. I sat down and I edited that bad boy for a good hour before eventually finishing it. Yes, I finished the video. Okay, maybe there's a few things that I need to complete about it. For example, I'm thinking about running it through a voice filter on Adobe Premiere Pro to help get rid of clicks and clacks within the audio that were in there for some reason when I was recording that I can't get rid of using normal editing software. So that's something I'm definitely have to consider. Another thing is maybe I should put a disclaimer in the video saying this is my first video on this subject of what to do to make an interesting and successful YouTube channel. And it's going to be rough because I was learning as I was going along. So something like that, because the way I did it was I used OBS to record a webcam, my computer screen, and a video feed screen, and I wanted to have the screens different sizes to show more definition on one over the other. But the problem with that method was that it ultimately destroyed detail on the video feed screen. So when I wanted to use that video feed screen footage as a reference for what I was talking about in the video, it ends up looking disgustingly low res and really ugly. I definitely need to resize the windows so the detail does not get crushed and the video can come out more pristine and interesting. Now, I showed my sister the completed video. She really enjoyed it. It seemed, she said that it felt like I was a friend to the viewer going through the step-by-step process and how I personally navigate and deal with understanding what makes compelling YouTube content. And she thought it was a really straightforward and not boring at all video. But once it's posted and ready to go, I'll let you be the judge of that. I want to put a few more finishing touches in there before releasing it. And then for the next one, I'm definitely going to streamline the production process to make it less cumbersome to produce. So instead of commentating while filming myself learning for 2.5 hours and then mulling through the footage for like an entire month to get something watchable, instead I'm just going to study straight for 2.5 hours of what I'm trying to learn, which is how to make a compelling YouTube channel and video, and then I'm going to summarize the notes and create a short, straightforward script to just demonstrate what I learned. So that's what I learned in that session. Afterwards, my sister and I did have a long conversation of where we think the Brain Jam channel should go. We thought it'd be fun if the music was sort of a catalyst for the character meeting other characters in the world that he inhabits, and he meets like a musician, he meets like a painter, this and that, and each person kind of demonstrates what they know and how they know and why they know it. And I thought that would be kind of interesting. It's still in the rough stages right now, so I don't want to put anything definitive, but we're just playing. Well, after we had our discussion, I took my vitamins, I brushed my teeth, and I went to sleep while listening to binaural beats. I have to say that I feel like I may have had a dream, but it wasn't very vivid or well realized. So I can't say for sure if it was something that actually happened or if I'm just trying to trick myself that it actually happened. Well, when I woke up around 6, I needed to get a drink of water. My mom was feeding the cats at the time, and she asked me, "Hey Noah, what would you like for breakfast?" And I said, "Well, maybe we could have an omelet." And she's like, "Oh, sure, that sounds good." And then I went to sleep for 20 more minutes. Then I woke up, and when I got up, I think she was having coffee at the time, and we didn't have breakfast yet, but I suggested maybe we could instead have chorizo and eggs instead of the omelet. And she agreed. So we did have chorizo and eggs. She made them and then wrapped them up and had them ready to go for me, which was very nice of her. Very grateful for that. And it was pretty good, although the burrito did rip a bit, which was a bit unexpected, but, well, actually, I guess it was expected because those kinds of tortillas are really easily rippable. Well, it was still really good though, and I was very grateful. After eating that, I ended up going to get ready for work. I kissed my mom goodbye and I left. When I got to work, thankfully it wasn't 8 o'clock sharp, it was 8:02, but it was within a 3-minute grace window, so it wasn't too far out. I need to get better at arriving dead on, though. I've been very lackadaisical with arriving right on the mark, and I need to stop that because I need to show I'm serious. I can't be a lackadaisical individual. It's no good. When I got out, I went into the store, and it was a really chill morning, not too busy. Helped out around the front end bagging, and then I decided to do some lot because I was given lot duty, and usually early in the morning you're like one of two courtesy clerks that are only available in the store to help out, and one is given sweeps and the other's given lot, but the one who has lot needs to make sure that there's no one waiting on to be bagged before they go out and do their sweeps. Sorry about that, their lot, my bad. So I bagged, I checked to see if lot needed to be done. If it did, I did it. And if it didn't, then I'd stayed back. Well, after that, the next 3 hours was pretty much just front end bagging throughout the whole time. With the first hour, just straight bagging. And then I went upstairs and did a breathing exercise. One of my coworkers asked me why I do it, and I said it helps make me feel more centered, grounded, and relaxed after a little session, and they thought that was pretty interesting. Well, I went back downstairs, and when I arrived, it was extremely busy, more busy than it was earlier in the morning, and usually that's because Sundays are our busiest days of the week. Probably because everyone's about to go to work the next day, and so they're just getting their shopping done so they don't have to worry about shopping for the whole week. I would imagine. Yeah, nothing really to say other than it was really involved, and I was asked to go much faster by my coworkers because they felt I was being a bit slow on the bagging, so I was trying to really ramp it up, but yeah, I just did the best I could. Well, when lunch arrived, I drove home. There was luckily a salad being made at the time. My mom was making it, my sister was also making it, and our family friend was pulling apart the chicken. I helped by grinding in some cheese in there. We had a nice meal. It was really good. I was offered soup with the salad, but I declined because I knew the soup had potato in it, and I didn't want to risk increasing my carb intake for today because I was worried that would kick me out of my ketosis thing. Well, after eating, I had my keto ice cream and left and kissed my mom's head, my sister's head, and our family friend's head before leaving back to work. Now, when I arrived, I apparently had nothing but front end work the next 2 hours. So off to bagging again, and then the third hour was spent doing a lot. I remember after I was done with a lot, I asked our CSR if I could go on my last break, but they told me that you're not allowed to go on break on your last hour because you're supposed to take on your second hour, and that interferes with other people's breaks who were supposed to be taken on that hour. So I understood and I went back to work. Yeah, pretty much bagged for the rest of the day. Nothing too crazy happened, just tried my best, tried to be as quick as I possibly could, and yeah, pretty much bagged for the rest of the day. Nothing too crazy happened, just tried my best, tried to be as quick as I possibly could, and then I punched out, got some filtered milk, got some keto bread. I said goodbye to my coworkers. I left. I wanted to say goodbye to 3 other coworkers that were in the front end, but they seemed like they were deep in a conversation and I didn't want to interrupt, so I just left. And then I was stopped by a guy who wanted to know why I've got this like mustache, and I said I just like the way it looks, and he told me that he tried to grow one but he didn't like having it because he got like stuff in it and it made it really annoying to eat food. So it's like, oh, all right. And then I left. Almost forgot to mention that I did get my car refilled with gas today. Yeah, 40 bucks in the tank. Living is expensive. Well, anyways, when I got home, I told my mom about the burger keto buns that I got, and she said that would make for a great dinner. So she decided to make the keto burger buns with our beef patties we had in the fridge, with a nice cut of cheese and onion on top. And it turned out pretty good. The buns were a bit on the chewy side, though, I have to admit. Now, after we were done eating, we ended up just hanging out for a good while. We did various things. My mom wanted me to fix the sliding door in the back of our house because apparently it got bumped off of its rollers at the bottom. So I slid them back in and everything was fine. Then after that, my mom had the idea of taking a picture of herself with a pillow underneath her shirt to make her look big. And then the next picture would be her nice and thin, and then we would use AI video generation to make her look thin in video. And it ended up working pretty decently well, I would say, and it was pretty funny. We even added sound effects that my mom added. My mom did have an extensive conversation with my eldest sister. I hung around just hearing different life updates, what was going on. And then my mom decided to start wiping the kitchen, but I wanted to make my update video. I asked if I could make it alone. My mom said, okay, but you need to wipe down the table and put the silverware in the dishwasher. And so I agreed, so I will be doing that after recording this. And I set up this camera, hit the record button, and there we go. And here's a little note I wanted to mention. Tomorrow is my cheat day, which means it's not going to be day 30 of the diet. It's going to be cheat day of the diet. So yeah, I'm celebrating the milestone of eating clean for 29 days by having a nice little meal of things that I normally would not eat on this diet. It includes pancakes with whipped butter and sausage and scrambled egg. I mean, I could have the sausage and scrambled egg, but not the pancakes with the whipped butter. But I'm definitely going to get a nice big pizza share with the family. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and goodbye.